Welcome back to your pick a card. Today we are going to do 4 groups. To give you a little bit of information about this pick a card, you have Aquarius, Sagittarius, Scorpio in group 1, Capricorn, Pisces, Virgo in group 2, Aries, Cancer, Libra in group 3, Gemini, Leo, Taurus in group 4. We are going to pull from both sides to tell both sides of the story and with clarifiers. Okay? As usual, Spirit is always welcome to this space to gain clarity. This may be messages that you could use, as well as questions and concerns that you could have regarding a relationship. If it isn't you, it may be the other person, so feel free to interchange the roles. In just a moment, I'm going to zoom in on the groups so that you can make your selection, if not on the zodiac sign, maybe inspiration from the tarot card. So group 1, you guys have the 10 of Cups. Group 2, you guys have the Hierophant. All right. Group 3, you guys have the King of Swords. And group 4, you have the World card. Okay? So you can make your selections by the tarot card or the zodiac sign for group 1 through 4. Now, usually what I do, I would go with however it resonates. And if you resonate with more than one video, feel free to watch multiple videos. When I pick cards or crystals, I'll take a look at the decks or the crystals before me. And it's like I do this channeling or scrying where I'm not looking directly at anything in particular, but I'm looking at the screen. And then whatever pulls my eye toward any of the cards, I go with that one. It's like just this inner feeling, and I'll do it more than once. So usually it's the one that's calling me right out of my peripheral. That could work for you, or feel free to do it however you'd like, okay? Now, I'm going to put the groups together so that you could take a moment to make your selection. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video, and I definitely appreciate all of you for stepping in today. If you're interested in more information on products and services, you can visit me at astronauthoochie.etsy.com to check out the store. My email is in the description box and the About tab here on YouTube. Let's get started with your pick a card. All right, as we get started with your pick a card, this is group 1 with Aquarius, Sagittarius, and Scorpio. Group 1, you have the 10 of Cups. Group 2, with the Hierophant, Aries, Cancer, Libra. Group 3, with the King of Swords, Capricorn, Pisces, Virgo. And Group 4, with the World card, Gemini, Leo, and Taurus. Whatever the moon, rising, Venus, or sun sign of you or your partner, or whichever pulls you intuitively. Take a moment to look at the pictures, the colors, any symbols or synchronicities within the photo, because it may not be related to the zodiac signs or the tarot card. You could have a strong connection with keys, or may have an animal as a spirit guide, as well as a strong connection to the sword or bracelets, whatever pulls you. I'll zoom in just a bit to see if that helps a little bit, and I'll give you a moment, but if you need more time, feel free to pause the video. And we will get started with group 1. Group 1, here we go. We're going to get started with your reading. You guys have Aquarius, Sagittarius, and Scorpio. Could be Sun, Moon, Venus, or Rising for you or your person, okay? And we're going to go ahead. The cards have been shuffled. We're going to see what's in store. We've got the 4 of Cups, the 9 of Cups. You have the Heart, if I can get this right. And, the 7 of Wands. Okay. I will say, despite what we unpack, okay, I don't want to say despite. It's just that whatever we unpack, okay, someone made a wish, okay. I feel like your truest desires, their truest desires, you involve each other. There may be some resistance to the emotion on one part, and then I feel rejection, abandonment could have played a part on another end. Now these could be internal issues, childhood, early childhood development issues. Even if you've worked through them or they've worked through them, initially when the situation began, there could have been something deep down in the heart. Maybe we reincarnated with particular energy and we didn't want to see it. And as we mirror each other, when it comes to like soulmates, twin flames, or whatever you call it, there could have been some resistance, just the same, on the other end, where someone may refuse to see something. I feel like in this situation, someone's also standing their ground on the matter, okay? And even without what it is that they truly want, they find contentment and happiness, or bliss even, with self. Now, some of us may have gotten exactly what we wanted, the person that we wanted, and still in our hearts are not truly fulfilled. And we're going to pull some additional cards as well as individual cards for your zodiac signs to see what is truly deep down inside, okay? Now, there's also a feeling of more than enough on the other end, because that was some more shadowy energy. So on the bright side, there could be some feelings of more than enough. It's like someone at a party, and if you're in a relationship, this person isn't distracted by outside factors, because the 3 of Cups usually represents a party, a gathering, some sort of celebration. And you have one individual kind of like chilling in the background or even covered by the background. You don't even see them. And then here comes an offer, a glass or something like that out of the clouds. And I feel like this person got something that they truly wanted. Some of you may get something that you truly want in a situation that wasn't really fulfilling. So this could be something that transpires after a situation that didn't really pan out. And for some of you, it is maybe a current relationship or a new budding relationship that currently has you both happy, or some sense of contentment, when in the past we may have had to stand our ground even if we really cared about somebody, because it just truly wasn't what we wanted overall. And that does happen. I have truly cared about things and people, but it's like, if it's just not good for me or just like my overall happiness, hey, you got to set some healthy boundaries, and it is what it is. So with the Heart, we have the anchor. And see, the anchor is what stops the ship, okay? It doesn't sink it. It just keeps it from moving, all right? Usually the ships in tarot could represent like the treasure or something coming in for us. So something may have stopped. That's kind of like a refusal as well. Someone could have made an offer, and it's like, that's truly not what I want, It could have been a broken promise, or just really like halfway in the relationship, neglecting certain aspects of the relationship, and someone says, hey, that's not what I want. That's not what's going to make me happy. And that is also the energy of the 7 of Wands. So let's see. The 8 of Stars. which is like the Eight of Pentacles. And I like that because it's like we're putting them in place. Some of you, as I stated, this wish fulfillment, it required some sense of work. Now, if this relationship does eventually pan out, it's going to take some work on both sides or either side. And it's going to take probably the same area that may have been the issue is continuously going to be the area that's worked on until it's perfected. Others of you, you may find happiness in your work. While there may have been some refusal in a relationship or emotional matter, work may not be that bad. Okay, standing your ground and just kind of like taking a break from the emotions for some of you, and some of you not, Spirit's head, but just sacrificing what may have truly mattered at one point for your contentment and your overall well-being and happiness. Okay, now someone could have been working on themselves, which is why there's happiness. It's like I'm working on myself so that I'm happy within me, so there aren't any second guessings or insecurities when it comes to people that may not see the relationship or see me the way I see it, right? We don't want to internalize somebody making a conscious decision to move in another direction that is totally what they wanted to do and may not have anything to do with you in particular. So being truly confident and happy with yourself and kind of like resisting whatever, the situation is, may be a good thing, okay, for some. Let's see. Now with the Nine of Cups, yep, there's the Two of Swords. So that's what I felt when I said that there was someone that may have been blocking their emotions, that may have been refusing to see. Someone may have chosen contentment and their own personal satisfaction while at the crossroad, or just decided to see things another way. Now, if we're guarding our hearts, okay, and blocking out what once was a wish, I feel that we've grown out of it and it truly isn't what we want anymore or what we desire. But we will see. With the Four of Cups, we have Temperance. Now, the Spirit is working on somebody, okay? It talks about something possibly being changed, transmuted, and kind of like chemistry, right? Where the Chariot talks about the opposing forces, the Temperance card talks about things coming together. So something that someone may have once refused or rejected or didn't want, I feel like they may be coming back. But the other person, okay, that could have tried friendship, that may have tried every which way you can imagine to make this thing work, may now be in a position of just not seeing it that way or not feeling them the way they once did. Now, Temperance can help with this Two of Swords either way that it goes. If there's a block, we work through the emotions, we balance the cups, because I noticed that like Spirit is here, Spirit is in consciousness and emotions, because you got like 11 cups. And actually, okay, there's more than 11 cups, so we'll just stop counting the cups. With Temperance, you have the Three of Swords. Now just imagine someone that may have gone through, like I said, rejection and abandonment, and or maybe even some relationships that didn't pan out, even prior to this one, where they could be a bit guarded. There's also something that comes in and I feel makes someone realize something that could have been a little bit confusing or they neglected to see. Because the third sword that comes into the Three of Swords, it works as an energy of like removing the block, okay? Now, if there's going to be any communication between you and this individual, I feel that those blocks may have to be lifted, even if it is like being technical and not like a metaphor or whatever. If you guys aren't communicating via telephone or email or social media, it's just like there's that. Because the Seven of Wands sometimes talks about blocks, as well as the Two of Swords. But then with the Three of Swords, it talks about a little bit of pain, a change and some sort of transformation, but things could come back together on this person's end. So let's see. On this side, there's a little bit of contemplation about the past. There are some things that we possibly regret. There could be a little bit of depression or feelings of being blue regarding a friendship, because we're still on the friendship. It could have been a relationship for some of you guys, or just the harmony in the situation. Because see, the Three Cups up here, wasn't enough, so another cup came in. And now it's the 3 cups here that are just spilled over because it's like, I don't want that. And then here's double downing on, I do not want that, to the point to where it may have hindered how someone looked at the situation or felt about the other person. The 10 of Cups says that this change and this pain is going to bring this person to whatever their happy ending is, okay? Now, they could see you as more than a friend, even if you kind of feel that you guys were stuck at that friend point, all right? Now, here we have the King of Swords. Someone definitely has to choose a head over heart situation because it was so hard emotionally. So hard emotionally, especially with all that's involved. Some of you could have had children, maybe not. There also could be people that may be flexible, trying new things, I'll just say that, where they could have friend-zoned an individual because they were trying out other aspects of their sexuality or something like that. And that could really, get the best of someone's feelings. That could cause some sort of block where they just go ice cold in the heart. And even move on to, find what it is that they truly want. Let's see if that's what's happening, because that's deep. Now, the High Priestess goes with their intuition, doesn't speak, right? Not really talking, is trusting the intuition, or even asking you, initiating you into the work, okay? Now, this work, we'll see where it goes, may involve this person, the Magician, someone who couldn't commit, someone that may be, the energy of the Magician is just, and someone who may have an advantage when it comes to using the elements. I wouldn't say exactly manipulative in a negative sense, but that is the Magician. Mostly in a relationship or a situation, this is the one, but it's not like the husband, it's not the boyfriend, the girlfriend, the wife. It's just a person that is considered to be like the one, but it hasn't really panned out. Now, what I love about this is, and hear me out, it could have been bad timing, okay? It may have been bad timing because someone was at a crossroad in other areas of their life. So instead of ruining what could have been worse, maybe you guys went on a split, maybe there's a break. It could come back when people are, I don't want to say like on your feet, but if it was bad timing, there's other things involved that the cards hadn't really showed yet that may have been of essence. And it's like, instead of ruining the situation, there could have been a separation so that spirit could work on one or both of you. Someone else could have honestly just put their foot down and said, I'm not doing this, because they didn't plan for whatever is brewing in the future. They didn't see that when they first, got into the situation. The High Priestess and the Magician, these are 2 people that just kind of like end up together. Not going to hold you. The High Priestess isn't really looking for the family life. Neither is the Magician. And to me, those are 2 people that kind of come together because they're true soulmates. Sometimes it's the High Priestess and the Magician. Other times it could be the High Priestess and the Hierophant. So look out for that. Now here we have the dog. All right. Now somebody could have been a dog. I ain't gonna hold you. But it normally means a friend or a companion. Okay. Now this person could have been held back by another situation. Neither of these situations were committed. I don't feel that there was any cheating or anything. It just shows that while you were happy with being a friend, or someone was happy with being a friend but possibly wanted more, another person was still stuck with this energy of friendship as well, or just finds you to be a great companion, okay? They do understand that this was necessary along their journey or along your journey. So they do see you as a soulmate, like with that 10 of Cups. But this soulmate energy, the dog energy, is usually in the Fool card, which marks the beginning of a journey. So they feel that, or someone feels that it's really not over yet. All right. Sorry. Here's the ring. Okay. I haven't seen married. If anything, this person is divorced or just has the energy of an individual that has some experience, okay, has some intelligence, and is, I don't want to say guarded at the heart, but could be. It may even currently feel that they missed an opportunity with someone who could have been there happily ever after. But the pain, the heartache, or whatever the situation brought about, I think could have caused someone to feel they would be rejected if they were to try the situation again, or maybe someone is blocked. Okay. Here we have the ring. Somebody's either trying to manifest some sort of marriage, and I feel like one of you has this strong connection to the high priestess that's guiding you guys. Now, someone's ships coming in are relevant to work. Somebody's focused on work and like fighting against the recognition of knowing that this is a soulmate because of how complicated it is, and choosing to kind of focus on something else. But I did say, usually with the soulmate connections, the high priestess and the magician, or the high priestess and the hierophant, are super cool cards for something that does just happen to pan out. Now, okay, this is where it gets good. We have a yes and a no. That's funny. The moon talks about a mystery. Okay, this person doesn't know, because this person could have been the one that rejected the other party. It also may be the person that just feels that you don't want them. Whatever you, or okay, I hate to say you, whoever's who, okay? Someone put their foot down. Someone is standing up for themselves. This person realizes that and doesn't know if you'll accept any additional offers from them. So there's that, okay? Cancer may be involved. The next moon phase could be involved, or just the mystery in friendship, marriage, my heart, and whatever to this person anchors them. Okay, now if someone were the anchor, it's like somebody holding them back. And I feel that this situation, if it were that complicated, they could have felt that it holds them back from true happiness. However, there's still some heartbreak about you, even if they found happiness somewhere else. It's like that's the Four of Cups. They're bored, okay, possibly rejecting offers that come toward them, knowing they may have missed an opportunity with you, okay? Now, the Fool talks about a new beginning. I like the Fool, the High Priestess, and the Magician because 1, 2, 3 may be significant if you are into like numerology. It also talks about taking the steps. The Two of Wands. Now, the steps would be to anticipate these ships. But it's like this ship is anchored. This ship is anchored and confused about friendship or married. But on this side, we have seeing the world as our oyster. And this is the exact card for waiting on the ships to come in. That is very interesting. So what we'll do now is we'll pull cards on your individual zodiac signs, and we will start with Aquarius. I think I want to implement our Somnia cards for Aquarius. All right, let's see what we have. If you're dealing with Aquarius, where Aquarius could fall in your chart, or this person. Now, here's the energy of the Hierophant, which is Taurian energy. We also have the Hangman, which is Pisces. The Hierophant in a relationship just talks about marriage, beliefs. It also would be if this person had the personality of being kind of stubborn. The Hangman is waiting on somebody to change their minds that is very stubborn. The Hierophant is a my way or the highway kind of person, but still waiting on some sort of sign. So it's like you wouldn't change. Okay, a person wouldn't change this person's mind. I feel that it had to come from like their beliefs, a higher power, or just, it's just toxic to me. But at the end of the day, it's like if you never left, don't want to say you. If someone never left the other person's side, as in it was never truly over in your heart, I feel like at the end of the day, this person would still, like you two would be open to having a relationship, because someone's waiting on some level of understanding. And this person feels that, it is their way that will be the level of understanding. Unless someone's waiting until marriage and not really dealing with friendships and situationships, I do see the Hierophant as a marriage card, but waiting on the right one type thing. So that is what I have for Aquarius. Here are your cards. Now, for Sag, see what we got for you guys. Fire and desire, Somebody's lying or stealing. Okay, we got the devil card with the 7 of Swords. Now, and look, my puppy just stole this hat off my lap that I was trying to keep him from taking. So there could be somebody running off with something, and they're coming towards you. Okay, a person that you walked away from or that walked away from you, Sag. I feel like there was possibly some ghosting, some boundary set. Just some clear cut something happened, right? The 8 of Cups just talks about letting go. Someone who let go and chose isolation may be reaching out to communicate. Now, if this person is returning, this sword says someone else may have set healthy boundaries, so I don't know how that's going to go. Also, it could have been this sword, that led someone out to move to their own beat. All right? So that is what I have for you, Sagittarius. And let's see what we have for Scorpio. That was interesting. Okay, that's definitely like, excuse me type deal for Sag. Okay. Let's talk about this. Scorpio. Okay, we did have the 8 of Pentacles. Well, 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles over there. So when I said it takes work, it's going to take a little bit of work and a little bit of patience. Okay. But this is a committed energy, and I do like it. This 8 of Pentacles could lead to 9 of Pentacles, which any abandonment issues or early childhood development issues, any codependency or toxic energy, I feel with patience and diligence and precision, it will be worked through. Someone may find their level of independence by doing the work, right? Even if it's like repeating the same aspects of correction or healing, it ultimately pays off. So Scorpio, I do have the 8 of Pentacles for you and the Knight of Coins, okay, that may have come after a separation. So if I'm coming back, returning with this particular pentacle, I have been working on it, all right? That is what I have for you, Scorpio, and that will conclude Group 1. We will move to Group 2. Group 2, you guys have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is the number 5 and is connected to Taurian energy. I love that we have 2 keys, okay? There could be 2 choices, and it also could represent the feminine and masculine aspects of this relationship. I say that because there's a cool blue or silver key, and then there is a gold key, which could be symbolic to like the sun and the moon. Now, sometimes the Hierophant is the gatekeeper, sometimes of secrets. It also could talk about the belief systems. And then intuitively, for some reason, okay, with you guys, I also considered how the Hierophant, even though it could represent marriage surrounded by other cards, Hierophants don't have families. And they're not married. Like they take an oath or a vow of some sort to their beliefs or religion. And being that there's Taurian energy, there could be some, my way or the highway, or some my way that transpires into your reading, but it's a collective reading. If you resonate more with dating with intentions or marriage, and a person that you're dealing with, that's important to them, some information could spring up for you guys. The Hierophant also represents like an institution and tradition. So there may be traditional vows, oaths being taken. And we will see what other cards connect with this Hierophant. Again, Group 2, you have Aries, Cancer, and Libra. Very interesting connection, super dope. Let's get started. The first card is the Strength card. So this definitely talks about humility and grace. I feel that for this relationship or marriage, it is a perfect match. Now, I say that because the Lion is an alpha energy. Very strong, sometimes even beautiful, romantic, charming, full of vitality. The Strength and the grace is why I said that it's a perfect combination, because as you can see, she is very accommodating to the Lion, which I'm sure the Lion would love. And it's like a safe haven or peaceful relationship, a comfort zone, even. Now, this also could point to within a relationship, someone with very strong beliefs maybe needing to consider that grace may be a better approach when situations are tense. Okay. And if you have a partner that struggles with energy sometimes, it may benefit the relationship to have a little bit of patience with them, because it's like, what type of support or leadership do you want to give, or what type of leader do you want to be? It's like, do you actually want, things to go in your favor? Or do you just want to be right? So if I wanted to help someone that I knew had a certain way about them, okay, and may even be a little bit stubborn, I would consider the best approach for that particular personality. So if it were a very strong, dominating energy, I would approach it with grace, but still firm, okay? Because clearly she has the upper hand. Don't tell nobody. And this is kind of like, what is it called when you, it's the best word for this. It's like, I hope it comes to me. I won't spend too much time on it, but it's like the Queen of Wands, and like how she would be as a wife to her partner, which is Leo, or the King of Wands. She's accommodating, She irons the clothes. Everything she touches is just fertile, and it grows, and it's just beautiful. She's in her own zone. She's very strong, but yet, she's the perfect person for another energy that may be very independent, and strong as well. So if there are any negative beliefs, okay, that bring about triggers when it comes to relationship, marriage, or any aspect of this situation, the Strength card reminds us that, like the Queen of Wands, we can create havoc or harmony. Now, another thing that comes to mind is like, sometimes the lion isn't all big, bad, and alpha like, right? Sometimes there needs to be a little courage and bravery, okay? If there's like this institutionalized way of thinking and any outdated beliefs or ties, that we've made in past lives to the present, there has to be bravery and courage to be open to the present moment or what you're trying to attract in this life. Okay? This is August, which is Leo season. So this number 8 could be significant to a life path, a karmic number, or the present moment. Let's see what we have here. You got the 8 of Wands, okay? And I said it like that because you guys have 88. Now, 88 could be a master number for some of you, and it amplifies the energy of 8. There may be some action, some messages, some conversations going on this particular Leo season for you guys. So if you're currently in a relationship, not in a relationship, or this is a personal journey, it's just like grace, bravery, courage, and having the strength, because there's a lot of movement. And if it's not you, it's in the environment, okay? So we're a few days away from the gateway portal, but I call it the Lion's Gate portal. And I think that something may really take off for you. You may not know exactly what this is, because there's like partially clear sky and partially clouds. So that tells me that either there was some turbulence, a battle, or some confusion, or just the mystery of not fully knowing what's ahead. Now, for some of you, I feel that because the clear skies are more so on the past side, that there may be some clarity gained from one or both people in a situation, or just overall, if there were any transits that may have squared certain transits that you have in your chart, those may be clearing up for you, and we'll see what transpires from this. Now, the 8 of Wands also talks about not only messages and text. For some of you, if there is school, nonprofits, or businesses, this sometimes talks about shipping. So just be mindful of that, that you may need a little bit of courage or have grace with a group or individuals that you could be collaborating with or receiving a package, letters, or something like that, because we are also in Mercury retrograde. So just be mindful of that. Now, the challenge is sometimes my second card on the table. And technically, strength would be more so the challenge, with the Eight of Wands being the focus if I consider the Hierophant here. So we would definitely want to temper ourselves and have grace in situations that we want to maybe go faster than they're going. So let's see what else we have here. We're going to take an oracle card. Ooh, you got the Ten of Stars. Now, this is similar to the Ten of Pentacles, okay? So the Ten of Stars represents blended families. It represents a legacy, legendary. It represents generational wealth, and also the provider or the head of a household. I feel that this is deep down embedded into someone's belief to be a provider. And I do feel that they are willing to go the distance. This could also be you, okay? Tens are about completions because of the 1 and the 0. So I do feel that with the 88 being the infinite cycle and the number 10 that talks about beginnings and endings, there may be a significant phase that could have ended in the past. And then something changes, and I want to say almost overnight for you guys. I don't know if it's finances or the relationship because this is a general reading, but you did have like a rapid change, and then now you have the Ten of Pentacles. These two keys, there are two figures in this particular picture, and then the Eight of Wands, which actually has them divided 4 on each side. So you guys could have very similar personalities, which makes it a perfect pair. If I think of the 4 Wands, it talks about engaging or an engagement. It talks about preparing and making plans. The 10 of Stars would talk about moving in together or blended families, or thinking about, if this is an individual, your legacy. Just planning and preparing and not becoming overwhelmed or too frustrated. If you need to be flexible with your beliefs or your expectations regarding the situation, okay? Super cool. Here we have the bouquet. So, I mean, come on. You have the Hierophant with a bouquet. So the bouquet is like, to me, the Six of Pentacles, because usually it looks like a branch with flowers and a gift. It talks about support. So for some of you, it just talks about like the bouquet in the wedding. The bride throws it, and whoever catches it, they have good luck. So some of you, this could be marriage, seriously. It also talks about if you're planning a wedding, making the arrangements of the Four of Wands. Like someone, there's a situation with living arrangements. And for others, like this is technically still arrangements. Like what do we pick out and getting the plans together and things together. Now that could be the very thing that causes a little bit of tension in a situation, because we do have the Strength card here with the Eight of Wands. So just again, be mindful to be patient, take deep breaths, and not let yourself be overwhelmed by a process or planning something for the near future. I think that that's kind of cool. But you got a bouquet, and she has like an arrangement of flowers even on her crown. So someone actually may have walking down the aisle on their minds. I just had to be nosy. Come on. You guys have the house. So bouquet and the house could even be like a guest, maybe an unexpected visitor. Some of you with the Ten of Pentacles moving in together, there could be a home in the works, and this is possibly being manifested if you aren't actively making plans. The house also is a comfort zone, which in this particular deck, it literally talks about a house. Sometimes with my star seeds, the house is like the body or whatever. So this would just tell you to be gentle with yourself if it were in that aspect, because you have the bouquet with the Strength card and Taurus. So just definitely be gentle with yourself. Pay attention to your health and try to remain active. Okay, so just be mindful of like stagnant energy may be important. You have the Sun card. Now, if this isn't a child, okay, some of you guys, I don't know if, if you do boarding school for the kids or if there's private school or trips coming up, this would be an institution. This could talk about children, and this generational issue or like this wealth maybe involves travel, a trip, or some communication about it. So just be mindful when having this communication. Some of you may have children that want to go to school out of the country, or whatever this trip is, maybe it's far away. Be gentle, be kind, be graceful. The Sun card is also about marriage, okay? It does talk about a union of some sort, and I think that that's super cool for you, group 2. So it could be a yes to your question. You have the Sun card, you have the 8 of Wands, and the 10 of Stars on this side. So I think that that's super dope. Now, with the Strength, this makes a lot of sense. You have the 5 of Wands, and the 5 of Wands talks about looking for a needle in the haystack. So someone is definitely looking for the perfect partner. However, that may not be going so well, and it could seem like you're in a mix of a dating pool of crap, not gonna lie. When you're looking for a needle in a haystack and it's like everybody has their stick, nobody is doing teamwork. It's kind of like being at a daycare and all of the children are behaving poorly. Okay, some of you guys could actually have a daycare or a home daycare, or be considering like an institution or some sort of school, like a Montessori school or something for the child. All right, because there's home, there's having the strength, and there's also this taking action toward a situation that may produce an improvement in health, vitality, wealth, or like I said, a blending of something like family. It could also even be a family business that someone is considering. But here we have the 5 of Wands with the Strength card. And I can't help but to chuckle a little bit because you definitely need strength in that energy. And you have a lot of wands so far. Woo. So this is definitely unexpected. I feel that someone could have been battling between their emotions and how they're responding, reacting, or taking in the thoughts behind marriage or school. And I think that with the Tower, whatever vow or oath that was taken that may have been a conflict of interest to the present, that has come down, okay? I also feel like if there had been any breakups, it may have something to do with the messages or how someone came across. So just be mindful of that, where a little bit of grace and kindness can go a long way. The Tower talks about unexpected situations in health, in finances, and in relationships. And sometimes it could talk about instability, but my favorite aspect of the Tower is actually the throne of God. So if you're receiving messages from Source regarding a situation, just be open and susceptible to where it could go. Because there's change. You have the 2 of Pentacles, and I feel like the struggle or battle for someone that is requiring strength because of financial embarrassment that could hinder someone's idea about marriage. It also talks about juggling and being competitive. That could be the best thing for a person that is starting a business, getting back out there on the dating scene, trying to lose weight, or just not wanting to get bored and become a couch potato. It's pretty good energy. However, it could also be very frustrating to be looking for a needle in a haystack and juggling multiple things at a time. It could make you frustrated or angry. So that's why grace is needed. And then this Tower just talks about, enough being enough because of too much going on, and your health and your vitality are the most important things. Now Libra is here. Okay. With this 9 of Swords, it just talks about a manifestation for some of you coming from the grid. All right, hear me out. I don't know if you've gotten into like a deep meditation where you can almost see lines, and I'm not trying to get like all conspiracy theory here, but even in the Matrix or in certain like sci-fi movies, you'll see that they call it the glitch, and it even became like a super popular like filter on social media. For some of you, there are some things coming from the liminal space, which is where source, God, or whatever you believe in resides. And I feel like it's going to help. It's going to bring some information that breaks down a lie for someone, because sleepless nights, living in pain, some of those things are changing for you guys. So, group two, if you have like physical health issues that cause pain, there may be some changes in the near future. For some of you, there may be momentum building with this Eight of Wands coming your way, and a very auspicious, unexpected situation may happen. For others of us with the Five of Wands, I feel like this battle, it may not be favorable to like fight it, okay? Because it reminds me of like Roman's revenge, so just be mindful of that. All right, let's see what else we got. Eight of Swords, okay? So the Eight of Swords, if I have any mystics here, just talks about, I don't know if you use the seagulls or the talisman to create additional energy. I don't really know how to explain it, but if you're into like manifesting or magic and things of that nature, they call it chaos magic. All right, so the Five of Wands, the Tower, the Eight of Swords, we'll definitely talk about that. And with the Ten of Pentacles and the Sun card, babe, you you're gonna be manifesting something super big. Now, because the Hierophant represents institutions, and so does the Eight of Swords, for some of you guys, I could feel that you may even be looking into. If I see any more pages come out, I don't know, because sometimes the Two of Pentacles, this is the actual page from this deck. So it's like the page learning one thing and figuring out another thing, trying to really get an understanding or find source, find their strength, find power, or understand something. And I feel like some of you are taking a traditional approach. Others of you, this may be more mystic or involve like theology, but you're not taking the corporate ladder of, how things typically go. I feel like you're looking deeper into ancient knowledge or information to find your answers, okay, which is super cool. Now, if this is regarding the relationship or the marriage, woo, with the Eight of Swords, and look, it's like stabbed all in the hand. It's giving me still what it's taken to get here. Do you see this wall? Okay, so someone has given all that they could to get where they are with this Ten of Swords, okay? And with the Sun card and this wall being broken down, I feel like there's going to be a release of some sort that either improves this relationship or improves your health. So the reason why I say that is because if there is some negative thinking, some self-doubt, or just a very institutionalized, imprisoned energy, breaking out of that and the sun shining just talks about your finances, your vitality, and no longer being in separation from your person. So I like that a lot. Over here, you have oh my God, this is one of my favorites. Okay, let me tell you. The mountain is sometimes represented by, what is it? I don't want to say compromise. It's a collaboration of some sort. It's a saying that, if you guys can focus on the goal together, and of course a higher power is involved, so maybe both of you focusing on that higher power with, your belief systems. Maybe that's the strength for some of you, is your belief. It could be you individually or a partnership. But the mountains say that if two people come together and command the mountain to move, the mountain will move. But it's like the twin flames, or this, and maybe that's why the Page of Pentacles energy is kind of here. You can be great without a person, don't get me wrong, but some connections, it's just the vibration, maybe even that you guys can embody together. It's the amount of work that you can get done together. And it could even be written in the stars or some sort of marriage or contract, soul contract, okay? So it's like, if you don't come together, I'm pretty sure you can still work toward amazing lives as individuals. But if you were, to figure this thing out, and somehow manage to come together, the power that you guys have as two could move a mountain. Now, if you sit there and say, well, I have the power to move mountains and stand alone, I'm going to respect that. And I'm pretty sure you're walking with a higher power that's helping you move the mountain. So, there you have it. So you have bouquet, house, and mountain. Now, some of you guys could be ordering something because I love the little ladies on Etsy. They could have some little home store, okay, up in the mountains of Colorado somewhere, and just got the best little shop you could imagine. But there could be some complications. They may be dealing with personal situations, and I'm not going to say it could cause a delay. I think it's more even the post office. I don't think it's the people. If someone is having delays with packages, the turbulence in the water with the 8 of Wands, somebody's moving too fast. It's Mercury retrograde. Be kind to the institution or the company, or the small business, the little old lady, because it may be the actual post office that caused the delay and not whomever you got the item from. I don't know where they came from, but it just worked for me, okay? So I do hope that it helps group 2, and we will move to group 3. Group 3. You all have the King of Swords. Could be connected to Aquarius and Gemini energy. Your stone selections were also Capricorn, Pisces, and Virgo energy. May be related to the zodiac and transits, as well as the energy and archetype, like personality of the situation or person. The King of Swords is the general, is a planner, and any chaos or confusion is definitely tucked into the back of his mind, okay? I'm looking at the clouds and how there's none near the tipping point of this sword, which he has raised near the past. There may be a past situation, person that may be in the near future or currently being thought about or processed. The King of Swords can also represent a judge sometimes or a very good lawyer. Okay, this will be a high-paid individual that's very intelligent. As characteristics, I feel the King of Swords would be intellectually stimulated, may like conversation, and I feel that because of the wheat here with the sword, he's collecting. Okay, so there may be something about a collection, collecting. There may be some abundance, like, reap the rewards of past efforts, or, reaping what we sow type deal, all right? I'm also loving the greenery on his attire. What it reminds me of is like the 4 of Cups, where on the shadow end, it represents boredom and getting what you want but not being happy. The bright side, which I feel connects to this King of Swords, is having more than enough, because it's all over him, okay? He's very grounded. So whatever the situation or relationship is, it's going to require you to have balance and be grounded, because there's a lot of thinking involved. We are in Mercury retrograde, and I know that, like the Scythe with the Death card, not the similarity, but where they meet, right, where Scorpio and the King of Swords meet is there. The Death card and the King of Swords both have a connection to Scorpio. Geez, if I could just say that. Scorpio on the Occult Anatomy poster, or if you subscribe to like the Kabbalah or more traditional tarot, it represents the head or like the nose, okay? That could be significant. I don't know if some of you guys have allergies, or it just talks about a little bit of congestion, and maybe clearing it up may be important for you. Sorry about that. There's like something stuck on here. There we go. Now, the King of Swords sets healthy boundaries. For some of you, healthy boundaries have definitely been set toward a past situation, and that sword is still raised in case they want to play. Okay, not gonna hold you. So let's look at some cards and see what you have here. Ooh, okay. Um, Here's the thing. There may be some not so well thought out things said, so just be mindful of hastiness. I also feel that if there were two people involved in a situation, one may be very playful and energetic and doesn't really think before they speak or act. That irritates the King of Swords. Now, sometimes, like the Page of Swords and the King of Swords, there's a little bit of irritation, but the Page of Wands is even more active. And it's like if the King of Swords energy is trying to collect their thoughts, come up with some sort of plan, this combination just requires some sort of patience, is what I'm saying, okay? Now, some of you could be receiving a letter or some news, and this news may come from an ex regarding a divorce, a judge, or an attorney. Simple as that. May also just be Gemini or Aquarius energy for some of you guys. The Page of Wands is also connected to raw energy. So I feel that if you're manifesting raw energy with this level of mastery and maturity in focusing your thoughts could bring about very great change, okay? So it's like a lot of powerful energy and the expertise or skill to harness it properly. Like, I'm not doing anything but focusing on this. And it could be hard for an intermediate or a person that's just beginning to have all of this energy, because sometimes that's what leads to being overstimulated, right? But if you can control how you feel through your thoughts or control how you're processing it through your perspective, that is a master key, okay? Here you guys have, oh my gosh, the Empress. So this is that abundance that I'm talking about. If you can hold your focus, okay, I feel that you are manifesting something very big, huge even. Because if I think of raw energy with someone who knows how to use it, delegate it, direct it, and hold their focus. So, because you know, your thoughts become things. Sometimes our thoughts could take us down a rabbit hole, but if you can stay out of that energy to focus the direction on whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, then hey, this also trickles back down to like a woman, a wife. She could be older, doesn't have to be, as well as a mother. So there could be a mother figure or just a mother in a situation that may be receiving some sort of communication from an ex or a judge, okay? The Empress is still married, so she doesn't show to be like divorced, but she could be a mother involved in the situation. Whereas the King of Swords would be the representation of the person's behavior. Maybe they're an air sign. Maybe they're just, very serious, monotoned individual. But I'm getting an ex, receiving some communication from the ex, but they didn't think about it. It's just like one day they wake up, you pop up on their mind, they make that phone call or, whatever the case may be. The Empress also represents a level of understanding. So someone in a situation is trying to figure something out. Plain and simple. You can even tell by the way this page is looking at this wand. I'm trying to figure out how to use it. I'm trying to figure out how to do something, right? The Empress comes in and says that for some of you guys, it may be related to a business. It could be design, makeup, fashion, just something that beautifies the thing, right? Now, we started out with the King of Swords, which is interesting because the King of Swords has the capacity of like the Emperor, where this is the planning, the delegating, like I don't do the things, but I know that they need to be done. So I would be good at being a director to just find the people who can do the things because I know that things need to be done. You get what I'm saying? The Empress is the creative energy. So this is totally not that. This is like intelligence, planning, direction, right? This is pure, raw, creative energy, okay? So there's a situation that may require both. This could be the challenging aspect of the situation, where this is what we already have and this is the direction that we may be taking. Now, how we come in represents all that we've learned and who we are from the past. That's why I say it's a high paid man, it's a very smart individual that's mastered a thing, and it facing a past direction, just confirms that. The Page of Rods, trying to figure something out, has her rod in a future position, and she's looking toward the future. Our Empress is looking straight forward in the present moment. So I kind of like that combination, because you have the skills that are necessary to learn or use whatever it is in the present moment toward a future situation, and I feel that abundance could come of it. Some of us may be focused on that, okay? If you're heavily focused on the creative or decorative aspect of something, just be mindful to also consider all things that need to be done and develop some sort of plan or process that makes sense, okay? Let's see, we'll get another one over here. We have the Five of Pentacles. This does represent a halfway mark. So that complements saying that, okay, I have the plan, I know how to delegate, I can get that, I'm intelligent, I'm a general, I'm a boss. But the creative aspect, the decorative aspect, like the marketing approach, how to engage with people, how to make it all nice and fluffy, maybe we don't have that part. And vice versa. I know that I have the energy to create things, and once I can get it created or figure it out, I know that it's going to flourish, but maybe struggling with the plan, all right? This Five of Pentacles just represents that it's just as hard to go all the way back as it is to move forward. So just imagine someone that has learned a lot in a particular area, learning something new, okay? I feel that it may bring them about abundance, but it's definitely a process that may not be easy. Now, speaking of a judge receiving news, maybe bad news even, there could be a lady in the audience that may be going through court, or some sort of despair. Could also be a man. Now, sometimes this is being in between jobs. Sometimes it's being in between places to stay. For others of you, it represents, if there were any experiences with abuse or poverty, this just says that the light is always on and there is help, okay? Because this is the character from the Nine of Wands, which could sometimes talk about someone who may suffer from injuries or just be tired and kind of fed up of a situation. And here is a person that may have come from within this building, met this person halfway and was like, come on, baby, in here. The light is always on for you. This may be the Empress. It could be a mother, someone who's dealing with financial issues or just struggling with like poverty, abandonment issues. Just, it could be a hard time, okay? But yeah, the Five of Pentacles could talk about evictions. It could also talk about just feeling left out in the cold. There could be some communication about that, or somebody feeling left out in the blind about something. Now, it also says that if you aren't feeling your best, your business isn't booming, your magic isn't working, just be mindful that the Page of Rods could also represent raw energy that may not be favorable with the Five of Pentacles. So it would be more of a lower vibrational energy interfering with someone's thoughts or causing like a creative block, okay? So we may need to protect ourselves from nasty negative little energies. Now, there's going to be a great change in someone's life financially. The Five of Pentacles with the Page of Rods definitely talks about poverty and may even struggling with that from early in childhood. These could have been energies or traits developed from the people in our environment, like a guardian, where you see the world as your oyster and you're manifesting, waiting for those ships to come in. I do feel like if you can hold your focus, you'll see a difference in your lifetime than maybe your ancestors or guardians and parents saw in their lifetime. This also talks about her taking that rod, right? Not really understanding how it works and being more confident about figuring it out. All right, because she was like, "What's going on?" You know, her eyes were kind of covered. You know, she has on a nice little outfit, but the outfit got nicer, right? So I feel like it's figuring something out. For some of you, it may improve the finances. For others of you, it may improve a relationship if you want to be looked at as, wife material, right? Or if you're considering children, because the pages are sometimes children. The Empress could be literally someone's mother. And I feel like if the Empress were in the shadow energy with the King of Wands, she may have been negligent, like neglecting a child, focusing on herself. So there may be some information in here for you. If you have a parent, a mother that may have neglected you in effort to gain for herself, and maybe not provided or have given you a lot of direction. Okay. Here we have the Eight of Pentacles, where it talks about, of course they would say that, I had to sacrifice things in effort to XYZ. Okay. Now, others of you where this despair or temporary, displacement may change, and there may be work involved, okay, in a situation. It also talks about repetition, doing something over and over again to master this energy, especially where we talked about holding your focus, like modifying your beliefs. And then here again, it's like focusing on the head. Now, someone that may have a head injury, let's just say that, I know that the wand suit could struggle with like attention deficit energy. So just be mindful of that. If that is in your environment, it could be you, it could be a partner, it may be a child. Just be open and susceptible to that, because I'm noticing that when I talked about the head, he has a wrap on his head. I know he also has one on his hand, and he has a wand himself, okay? So it's like he's running back, for help or to tell her something or just being consoled. And whoever's consoling him isn't this energy, okay, for whatever reason. So I feel like things get better. There's some sort of improvement, because maybe the way this person goes about doing something wasn't the most beneficial for this type. Because remember, I started off by saying there's irritation, there's a lot of patience necessary. Someone could be neglecting certain aspects of it because of work, right? But this energy, the Empress, if it could be a father-mother situation, or it may just explain a story, okay, where someone may have more time and is more nurturing, okay, perfect for a relationship. If you have a feeling of abundance where there's more than enough, and you have a high vibration and favorable expectations, right, or even high expectations, you nurture yourself, you nurture the people in your environment, you're not very stressful, you're not, you feel me what I'm saying? It's just a person who's just always in the present moment. Everything that I have is enough, regardless of what that is, and they're a pleasure to be around. Now, this person is who motivates a child or people to aim higher, because it's like they had that love. And a lot of people that I talk to got it from like a grandparent. You know what I'm saying? Not that parents suck, because I'm a parent, and I think I'm a grandparent kind of parent, where there's this, kind of stern parenting energy, but then there's also this just nurturing, unconditional, loving grandparenting kind of thing that I do, because I feel that it's necessary not only for children, but for all human beings. Like, I've noticed, just watching comments on social media, don't have nothing to do with me, just looking at different posts. There's so many people that feel like they shouldn't be on earth, or they were born in the wrong time, or, just earth isn't the most pleasant place. And I see that more often than I see either people who don't care either way or have something positive to say. So it's like this energy is putting me in the mind frame of that, where what we're focusing on, what we're manifesting, how we nurture and take care of it, and how those actions totally change different situations. Like if I had someone who was more supportive and nurturing and had some sense of direction, or at least instilled things into me, gave me something, left me something, I would have an advantage in life, right? They didn't. The page is an orphan and could talk about poverty. The Five of Pentacles is telling me that's the direction of the page we're probably going with. It also talks about devotion. It's hard to be devoted when you're in the in-between and possibly don't have all that you need. But to change the situation, and what we're working on is to feel that there's always enough, regardless of what that is, because we're going to use what we have and be optimistic about the future, which may manifest more. Okay? Now, on this end, we're definitely talking about a man. All right? And for others of you, I don't want to get like all dark and gloomy, but I read a lot of books. I've read that when it comes to, and I think this is a religious thing, I'm not sure, these are religious cards right here, but the Eight of Pentacles, there was a story about like the belly and the beast. And it was like when you got to that point, the only way you would get out is with a thought or a word or something like that. And here is the word. I think it's man. I read that in Mary L. Tarot. So if I could just be clear on like breaking that down for you without taking you through all of the books that I read, it's just group 3, someone in the environment or you may have negative energy around you. And at the same time, you have some favorable energy around you trying to give you tips as well as protect you from going too far down this rabbit hole, if that makes sense. It's like this improves the health, this does not. So if we're dedicated and standing up for and like this martyr energy, ready to die for something, these beliefs could even be costing you your financial gain as well as interfering with their root chakra. So in the past life, if you were like a monk or a nun, or just someone who may have suffered from spiritual warfare, right? Just not really clear energetically, mentally, just getting attacked, psychic attack, energetic attacks that led to even physical, illnesses and injury. It just says that your thoughts are going to be stronger than anything this planet has to offer you. Right? Medication is cool, therapy is cool, but I also feel that your thoughts are very important. How you think, and then those thoughts kind of trickling chemicals into the body that could interfere with your frequency, which interferes with what you attract. I hope that makes sense. Okay? I just won't go down the rabbit hole. I'll leave it there. Now, for others of you, there could be someone that, probably a lady, that doesn't have much, and there is a wealthy man coming in the near future. You have man and clover over here with this judge, this lawyer, or just this real intellectual man. So I like that. Okay, I love that for you. You may meet them at work, or it just says that this relationship may require a lot of sacrifice. And what are you going to be sacrificing? Your privacy. With the Hermit, it may take you off your path a little bit if you're on a strong spiritual path. And I know some of you may say, well, this ain't for me. But just imagine getting so busy, or having so much, or becoming someone's wife, or actually becoming rich, or your business starting to boom. It doesn't say that you forget about the, higher power that got you there. It just says that there may be other things implemented into your life where isolation, moving away from everything, taking L's, right? Because the Hermit is also the energy in the Eight of Cups that says, let it go. You can't take it with you. Instead of the Eight of Cups, you got the Eight of Pentacles. Okay? So I feel like some things that may physically have been taken from you, homes, jobs, finances, your childhood just robbed of pleasantries, those things may be given back to you. And for some of you, it's the judge that's ordering something in your favor, or this wealthy man that's really smart, honey, and he might even dress nice and got nice hair. So if you've been going through a lot of temporary situations and not having nowhere to stay, or if you have been in a bunch of relationships, moving around a lot, that could be changing, because this is not having much, not having anywhere in particular to be, or having your health kind of like not being at its best. The anchor is what holds the ship. So it's either that energy that has kept you down, because you're really a lucky person, right? If you could get this anchor from being anchored, your ships would float in. So it's like, that's one. Two, I also thought of the anchor as like holding you down. So if there's some lucky man, okay, if you're in a temporary situation, he may want to hold you down. And that could be very significant. We got a lot of Virgo energy over here. And I just thought about, you do have Virgo here. So if it's not you, this person could be a Virgo for sure. And here we have the Justice card. So Virgo and Pisces is the balance or the polarity. That's interesting. Could be a relationship there. Not to leave you out, Capricorn, okay? The Justice could speak to the legal situation that is going to be changed, okay? This could be a divorce. This could involve children. This may involve your residence or just some sort of collection, okay? It also talks about that understanding. So seeking some sort of understanding, or some of us getting a better understanding on what I just explained, which was the sacrifice and the key phrase and the energy and abundance, right? But that is what I have, and I do hope that it helps group 3. We will move to group 4. Group 3. You all have the King of Swords. Could be connected to Aquarius and Gemini energy. Your stone selections were also Capricorn, Pisces, and Virgo energy. May be related to the zodiac and transits, as well as the energy and archetype, like personality of the situation or person. The King of Swords is the general, is a planner, and any chaos or confusion is definitely tucked into the back of his mind, okay? I'm looking at the clouds and how there's none near the tipping point of this sword, which he has raised near the past. There may be a past situation, person that may be in the near future or currently being thought about or processed. The King of Swords can also represent a judge sometimes, or a very good lawyer. Okay, this will be a high-paid individual that's very intelligent. As characteristics, I feel the King of Swords would be intellectually stimulated, may like conversation, and I feel that because of the wheat here with the sword, he's collecting. Okay, so there may be something about a collection, collecting. There may be some abundance, like, reap the rewards of past efforts, or, reaping what we sow type deal, all right? I'm also loving the greenery on his attire. What it reminds me of is like the Four of Cups, where on the shadow end, it represents boredom and getting what you want but not being happy. The bright side, which I feel connects to this King of Swords, is having more than enough, because it's all over him, okay? He's very grounded. So whatever the situation or relationship is, it's going to require you to have balance and be grounded, because there's a lot of thinking involved. We are in Mercury retrograde, and I know that like the Scythe with the Death card, not the similarity, but where they meet, right, where Scorpio and the King of Swords meet is there. The Death card and the King of Swords both have a connection to Scorpio. Geez, if I could just say that. Scorpio on the Occult Anatomy poster, or if you subscribe to like the Kabbalah or more traditional tarot, it represents the head or like the nose, okay? That could be significant. I don't know if some of you guys have allergies. Or it just talks about a little bit of congestion and maybe clearing it up, may be important for you. Sorry about that. There's like something stuck on here. There we go. Now, the King of Swords sets healthy boundaries. For some of you, healthy boundaries have definitely been set toward a past situation, and that sword is still raised in case they want to play. Okay, not going to hold you. So let's look at some cards and see what you have here. Ooh, okay. Here's the thing. There may be some not so well thought out things said, so just be mindful of hastiness. I also feel that if there were two people involved in a situation, one may be very playful and energetic and doesn't really think before they speak or act. That irritates the King of Swords. Now, sometimes like the Page of Swords and the King of Swords, there's a little bit of irritation, but the Page of Wands is even more active. And it's like if the King of Swords energy is trying to collect their thoughts, come up with some sort of plan, this combination just requires some sort of patience, is what I'm saying, okay? Now, some of you could be receiving a letter or some news, and this news may come from an ex regarding a divorce, a judge, or an attorney. Simple as that. May also just be Gemini or Aquarius energy for some of you guys. The Page of Wands is also connected to raw energy. So I feel that if you're manifesting raw energy with this level of mastery and maturity and focusing your thoughts could bring about very great change, okay? So it's like a lot of powerful energy and the expertise or skill to harness it properly. Like, I'm not doing anything but focusing on this. And it could be hard for an intermediate or a person that's just beginning to have all of this energy, because sometimes that's what leads to being overstimulated, right? But if you can control how you feel through your thoughts or control how you're processing it through your perspective, that is a master key, okay? Here you guys have, oh my gosh, the Empress. So this is that abundance that I'm talking about. If you can hold your focus, okay, I feel that you are manifesting something very big, huge even. Because if I think of raw energy with someone who knows how to use it, delegate it, direct it, and hold their focus. So, because you know, your thoughts become things. Sometimes our thoughts could take us down a rabbit hole. But if you can stay out of that energy to focus the direction on whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, then hey, this also trickles back down to like a woman, a wife. She could be older, doesn't have to be, as well as a mother. So there could be a mother figure or just a mother in a situation that may be receiving some sort of communication from an ex or a judge, okay? The Empress is still married, so she doesn't show to be like divorced, but she could be a mother involved in the situation. Whereas the King of Swords would be the representation of the person's behavior. Maybe they're an air sign. Maybe they're just, you know, very serious, monotoned individual. But I'm getting an ex, receiving some communication from the ex, but they didn't think about it. It's just like one day they wake up, you pop up on their mind, they make that phone call, or, you know, whatever the case may be. The Empress also represents a level of understanding. So someone in a situation is trying to figure something out. Plain and simple. You can even tell by the way this page is looking at this wand. I'm trying to figure out how to use it. I'm trying to figure out how to do something, right? The Empress comes in and says that for some of you guys, it may be related to a business. It could be design, makeup, fashion, just something that beautifies the thing, right? Now, we started out with the King of Swords, which is interesting because the King of Swords has the capacity of like the Emperor, where this is the planning, the delegating. Like, I don't do the things, but I know that they need to be done. So I would be good at being a director to just find the people who can do the things because I know that things need to be done. You get what I'm saying? The Empress is the creative energy. So this is totally not that. This is like intelligence, planning, direction, right? This is pure, raw, creative energy, okay? So there's a situation that may require both. This could be the challenging aspect of the situation, where this is what we already have, and this is the direction that we may be taking. Now, how we come in represents all that we've learned and who we are from the past. That's why I say it's a high paid man, it's a very smart individual that's mastered a thing, and it facing a past direction, just confirms that. The page of rods trying to figure something out has her rod in a future position, and she's looking toward the future. Our Empress is looking straight forward in the present moment. So I kind of like that combination because you have the skills that are necessary to learn or use whatever it is in the present moment toward a future situation, and I feel that abundance could come of it. Some of us may be focused on that, okay? If you're heavily focused on the creative or decorative aspect of something, just be mindful to also consider all things that need to be done and develop some sort of plan or process that makes sense, okay? Let's see, we'll get another one over here. We have the Five of Pentacles. This does represent a halfway mark. So that complements saying that, okay, I have the plan, I know how to delegate, I can get that, I'm intelligent, I'm a general, I'm a boss. But the creative aspect, the decorative aspect, like the marketing approach, how to engage with people, how to make it all nice and fluffy, maybe we don't have that part. And vice versa. I know that I have the energy to create things, and once I can get it created or figure it out, I know that it's going to flourish, but maybe struggling with the plan, all right? This Five of Pentacles just represents that it's just as hard to go all the way back as it is to move forward. So just imagine someone that has learned a lot in a particular area, learning something new, okay? I feel that it may bring them about abundance, but it's definitely a process that may not be easy. Now, speaking of a judge receiving news, maybe bad news even, there could be a lady in the audience that may be going through court or some sort of despair. Could also be a man. Now, sometimes this is being in between jobs. Sometimes it's being in between places to stay. For others of you, it represents, if there were any experiences with abuse or poverty, this just says that the light is always on and there is help, okay? Because this is the character from the Nine of Wands, which could sometimes talk about someone who may suffer from injuries or just be tired and kind of fed up of a situation. And here is a person that may have come from within this building, met this person halfway and was like, come on, baby, in here. The light is always on for you. This may be the Empress. It could be a mother, someone who's dealing with financial issues or just struggling with like poverty, abandonment issues. It could be a hard time, okay? But yeah, the Five of Pentacles could talk about evictions. It could also talk about just feeling left out in the cold. There could be some communication about that, or somebody feeling left out in the blind about something. Now, it also says that if you aren't feeling your best, your business isn't booming, your magic isn't working, just be mindful that the Page of Rods could also represent raw energy that may not be favorable with the Five of Pentacles. So it would be more of a lower vibrational energy interfering with someone's thoughts or causing like a creative block, okay? So we may need to protect ourselves from nasty negative little energies. Now there's going to be a great change in someone's life financially. The Five of Pentacles with the Page of Rods definitely talks about poverty and may even struggling with that from early in childhood. These could have been energies or traits developed from the people in our environment, like a guardian, where you see the world as your oyster and you're manifesting, waiting for those ships to come in. I do feel like if you can hold your focus, you'll see a difference in your lifetime than maybe your ancestors or guardians and parents saw in their lifetime. This also talks about her taking that rod, right? Not really understanding how it works and being more confident about figuring it out. All right, because she was like, what's going on? Her eyes were kind of covered. She has on a nice little outfit, but the outfit got nicer, right? So I feel like it's figuring something out. For some of you, it may improve the finances. For others of you, it may improve a relationship if you want to be looked at as wife material, right? Or if you're considering children, because the pages are sometimes children. The Empress could be literally someone's mother. And I feel like if the Empress were in the shadow energy with the King of Wands, she may have been negligent, like neglecting a child, focusing on herself. So there may be some information in here for you. If you have a parent, a mother that may have neglected you in effort to gain for herself and maybe not provided or have given you a lot of direction, okay? Here we have the Eight of Pentacles, where it talks about, of course they would say that, I had to sacrifice things in effort to XYZ, okay? Now, others of you where this despair or temporary, displacement may change and there may be work involved, okay, in a situation. It also talks about repetition, doing something over and over again to master this energy, especially where we talked about holding your focus, like modifying your beliefs. And then here again, it's like focusing on the head. Now, someone that may have a head injury, let's just say that, I know that the wand suit could struggle with like attention deficit energy. So just be mindful of that. If that is in your environment, it could be you, it could be a partner, it may be a child. Just be open and susceptible to that, because I'm noticing that when I talked about the head, he has a wrap on his head. I know he also has one on his hand, and he has a wand himself, okay? So it's like he's running back, for help or to tell her something or just being consoled. And whoever's consoling him isn't this energy, okay, for whatever reason. So I feel like things get better. There's some sort of improvement, because maybe the way this person goes about doing something wasn't the most beneficial for this type. Because remember, I started off by saying there's irritation, there's a lot of patience necessary. Someone could be neglecting certain aspects of it because of work, right? But this energy, the Empress, if it could be a father-mother situation, or it may just explain a story, okay, where someone may have more time and is more nurturing, okay, perfect for a relationship. If you have a feeling of abundance where there's more than enough, and you have a high vibration and favorable expectations, right, or even high expectations, you nurture yourself, you nurture the people in your environment, you're not very stressful, you're not, you feel me what I'm saying? It's just a person who's just always in the present moment. Everything that I have is enough, regardless of what that is, and they're a pleasure to be around. Now, this person is who motivates a child or people to aim higher, because it's like they had that love. And a lot of people that I talk to got it from like a grandparent. You know what I'm saying? Not that parents suck, because I'm a parent and I think I'm a grandparent kind of parent, where there's this, kind of stern parenting energy, but then there's also this just nurturing, unconditional, loving grandparenting kind of thing that I do, because I feel that it's necessary not only for children, but for all human beings. Like, I've noticed, just watching comments on social media, don't have nothing to do with me, just looking at different posts. There's so many people that feel like they shouldn't be on earth, or they were born in the wrong time, or, just earth isn't the most pleasant place. And I see that more often than I see either people who don't care either way or have something positive to say. So it's like this energy is putting me in the mind frame of that, where what we're focusing on, what we're manifesting, how we nurture and take care of it, and how those actions totally change different situations. Like if I had someone who was more supportive and nurturing and had some sense of direction, or at least instilled things into me, gave me something, left me something, I would have an advantage in life, right? They didn't. The page is an orphan and could talk about poverty. The Five of Pentacles is telling me that's the direction of the page we're probably going with. It also talks about devotion. It's hard to be devoted when you're in the in-between and possibly don't have all that you need. But to change the situation, and what we're working on is to feel that there's always enough, regardless of what that is, because we're going to use what we have and be optimistic about the future, which may manifest more. Okay? Now, on this end, we're definitely talking about a man. All right? And for others of you, I don't want to get like all dark and gloomy, but I read a lot of books. I've read that when it comes to, and I think this is a religious thing, I'm not sure, these are religious cards right here, but the Eight of Pentacles, there was a story about like the belly and the beast. And it was like when you got to that point, the only way you would get out is with a thought or a word or something like that. And here is the word. I think it's man. I read that in Mary L. Tarot. So if I could just be clear on like breaking that down for you without taking you through all of the books that I read, it's just group 3, someone in the environment or you may have negative energy around you. And at the same time, you have some favorable energy around you trying to give you tips as well as protect you from going too far down this rabbit hole, if that makes sense. It's like this improves the health, this does not. So if we're dedicated and standing up for and like this martyr energy, ready to die for something, these beliefs could even be costing you your financial gain as well as interfering with their root chakra. So in the past life, if you were like a monk or a nun or just someone who may have suffered from spiritual warfare, right? Just not really clear energetically, mentally, just getting attacked, psychic attack, energetic attacks that led to even physical, illnesses and injury. It just says that your thoughts are going to be stronger than anything this planet has to offer you, right? Medication is cool, therapy is cool, but I also feel that your thoughts are very important. How you think, and then those thoughts kind of trickling chemicals into the body that could interfere with your frequency, which interferes with what you attract. I hope that makes sense, okay? I just won't go down the rabbit hole. I'll leave it there. Now, for others of you, there could be someone that, probably a lady, that doesn't have much, and there is a wealthy man coming in the near future. You have man and Clover over here with this judge, this lawyer, or just this real intellectual man. So I like that. Okay. I love that for you. You may meet them at work, or it just says that this relationship may require a lot of sacrifice. And what are you going to be sacrificing? Your privacy. With the Hermit, it may take you off your path a little bit. If you're on a strong spiritual path, and I know some of you may say, well, this ain't for me. But just imagine getting so busy or having so much or becoming someone's wife or actually becoming rich or your business starting to boom. It doesn't say that you forget about the, higher power that got you there. It just says that there may be other things implemented into your life where isolation, moving away from everything, taking L's, right? Because the Hermit is also the energy in the Eight of Cups that says, let it go. You can't take it with you. Instead of the Eight of Cups, you got the Eight of Pentacles. Okay? So I feel like some things that may physically have been taken from you, homes, jobs, finances, your childhood just robbed of pleasantries, those things may be given back to you, and for some of you it's the judge that's ordering something in your favor, or this wealthy man that's really smart, honey, and he might even dress nice and got nice hair. So if you've been going through a lot of temporary situations and not having nowhere to stay, or if you have been in a bunch of relationships, moving around a lot, that could be changing, because this is not having much, not having anywhere in particular to be, or having your health kind of like not being at its best. The anchor is what holds the ship. So it's either that energy that has kept you down, because you're really a lucky person, right? If you could get this anchor from being anchored, your ships would float in. So it's like, that's one. Two, I also thought of the anchor as like holding you down. So if there's some lucky man, okay, if you're in a temporary situation, he may want to hold you down. And that could be very significant. We got a lot of Virgo energy over here. And I just thought about, you do have Virgo here. So if it's not you, this person could be a Virgo for sure. And here we have the Justice card. So Virgo and Pisces is the balance or the polarity. That's interesting. Could be a relationship there. Not to leave you out, Capricorn, okay? The Justice could speak to the legal situation that is going to be changed, okay? This could be a divorce. This could involve children. This may involve your residence or just some sort of collection, okay? It also talks about that understanding. So seeking some sort of understanding, or some of us getting a better understanding on what I just explained, which was the sacrifice and the key phrase and the energy and abundance, right? But that is what I have, and I do hope that it helps group 3. We will move to group 4. Group 4, you guys have Gemini, Leo, and Taurus. Let's go ahead and get started with your reading. The World card. The World card is very beautiful in regard to anything, really. Feeling complete and whole cycles, okay, where they start, where they end, and they're about to begin again. This is also like a lucky card for me, because it talks about the jackpot, like 7, 7, and 7 all equal 21. So I think that that's super dope, which makes me think of like Lady Luck, right? I always wondered the significance of her foot like planted here at the 6, and usually there's like a Libra scale or a symbol there, but who knows? She has the 2 wands, so she saw the world as her oyster and she completed it. This could be a project. This could be just a cycle of life and feeling at the top of your game. Now, traditionally in tarot, you have the different directions, where the Taurus and the man or the angel is pointed toward the past, where the lion and the eagle have more insight for the future. If you have a connection to certain spirit animals, that may be significant. Now, the shadow energy of the World card could talk about distant relationships, online dating, as well as something being over as soon as it starts. We've all had that, or I know I have. On again, off again. Especially with my twin flames and my soulmates, where the relationship isn't over. It's just that this particular cycle of the relationship may be, or in the recent past had been, especially if the man was being stubborn. But I don't want to be a chauvinist, okay? Or a sexist or whatever. Now, let's see what cards you have. Ew, look at that. See what I'm seeing? Somebody grew up, and it's the girl, right? It could also be the more feminine aspect of us that is connected to spirit, okay? The Sun card could talk about marriage. It also talks about union or just your vitality. And some of you may be focused on the sun sign or your sun sign or the current state of the sun sign right now, which is Leo. So Leo, facing the future. We also have Leo on the board, so yay. Now the daisies and the flowers represent fertility. And I think it was group 2 that may have had the brick wall burst open. So for some of you guys, it may be an opportunity to like break through or have some sort of breakthrough, which for the hangman, since I was like so in tune with her feet, may be connected to some sort of awakening or awareness. And I love that for you or for a relationship. But the Sun card is one of the most highly auspicious cards in the tarot deck. And you have that accompanied by the world itself. So this is a major situation. A relationship or a part of your life, or maybe even a part of their lives, to have two major arcanas coming out off the top is like insane. Three major arcanas. Here you have the moon card. This is like a maybe. Oh my gosh. You have a yes on one end, and you have like a mystery or something that Source or Tarot isn't going to tell us in this reading. I can guarantee you. It also represents the moon or Cancer. So check your moon signs for relationships, where your sun sign may be more so about how they see you. Okay. And how you project yourself. It's like self-image and first impression. Ooh, they came out with the world card. But there's also this little bit of mystery or mystique. Now, some of us may be trying to figure out, just like I was, what the full interpretation is that kind of guides us in life. Like, how do we get to that level of completion? How do we cube the square? How do we, circle the square, whatever they call it, break through the maze? How do we get this union to come into fruition? Well, the answers may be in the deck, or at least a couple of clues, okay? The moon does represent our intuition, where the sun could more so talk about the outwardly exuding energy that we put out. So we'll see. It talks about the divine feminine as well as the divine masculine. Now, within one person, that is most definitely wholeness, where you have the awareness, right? And the connection to spirit as well as source that gives you this lucky, in control, complete sort of vibe. And I think that that is like super dope, seriously. Ooh, 4 major arcanas, group 4. You have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune with the moon card just says that some of us we don't know what's going to happen next. It also says that what is happening is fated. I feel that there could be a cycle or a phase, so that's 28 days. And for some of you, it could even be a year. So if you're questioning, like, when am I going to meet my soulmate? When are we going to get married? Who am I going to marry? For some of you guys, the Wheel of Fortune says that you'll have to see. And for others of you, it says that the information may even be in your natal charts. So you could share the same moon sign or sun sign as your partner, meet them online, travel abroad, or have a distant relationship. Another thing about the Wheel of Fortune is not only is it fate that is in control, it also says that the people in our lives are fated. So the person that you have on your mind right now, where there may be some shadows of doubt or some maybes, is a fated situation. It is also a 10. 10 is connected to 19 because they're all one. Okay, so I think that that's super cool. Here you have the King of Cups. If you had gotten another major arcana, I would have just flipped. Okay, now the King of Cups with the Sun card represents what you're now aware of, which is what you truly want. It also talks about integrity, and I feel this is very charming. The individual that you could marry or that's on your mind has kind of gotten some sense of control over their emotions. And for some of you, it may be you that have finally learned contentment, how to go with the flow, and how to maneuver through what looks like situations that are provoked from the divine, maybe to help you with shadow work. So some of you guys, this new level up that you could experience may be the direct result of a phase of shadow work that may not be completed. The King of Cups is also a business card. So for some of you, this could be a businessman, or also how you go about handling your business. The King of Cups could also show up as a father, if some of you are considering that, or not even on your father. That is insane, because we do have the moon card, but I'm going to keep going. With the Sun card right here, and the King of Cups, if this is union or a marriage, this is someone that your soul knows. This is like the beginning of time when your energy was created, because energy never dies and you may have reincarnated. This lifetime could be kind of shitty. Not gonna hold you. I'm not sure where you and your twin flame or your soulmate are right now, but in the beginning, okay, I do feel that this person and you have a strong, deep connection. It's like if these were animal oracle cards, this would be like the whale or the orca. And those are some very ancient, beginning of time, origin of human existence type of characters, okay? So I feel that you may not know it, but there may be something that is brought to your attention in the shadow energy. And whatever event that transpires to pull the shadowy energy out of you is still going to lead you to this level up or this glow up. So I think that's super dope. Let's see who we have with the... See, I love that. So this is looking for love, looking for a soulmate. This is also harmony. So be it a business, be it your completion of shadow work, be it another person. This is a union, possibly a marriage. This is a very supportive husband. And unfortunately, the shadow energy may be a bit people-pleasy, the person that will bend over backwards and do anything for you. And then sometimes that's not the person that, you know, is always appreciated. But in this particular situation, it does talk about some sort of harmony and balance. It also looks as if the King of Cups is in between thoughts, right? You got this younger energy, which could sometimes represent children or early in youth. You also have like these young adults with the Two of Cups. So it's like these two people or you and this person have been together for you don't even know how long. That is insane. Now just imagine that it's a karmic cycle. Even though these cards are very bright and beautiful, just imagine that it is a karmic cycle or just some sort of cycle between two people where in the beginning of time, okay, not just this year or the beginning of this life, I'm talking about from the beginning of time and the origin of your soul up into actually experiencing marriages and relationships with this person. This is very deep. That is why the Wheel of Fortune is here and possibly the sun and the moon as well as the World card. Now I want to see what else is over here. You have the Seven of Swords. I knew it. It feels like this situation, this lifetime, may be a little bit tricky. It does talk about a mystery of some sort. Now, let's take out some clarifiers before I go down the rabbit hole, okay? I don't think that the feminine energy this lifetime is very happy with the masculine energy. And I don't know what he did, but maybe it's not in action. Maybe it's in spirit or his emotions or however y'all transfer the masculine versus the feminine. Okay, I know it's like new age or whatever. The Queen of Swords is wisdom, okay? It is also Libra, which is why I said look at her foot. So someone is gaining their footing and probably understanding some mysteries or some things that are unknown about life, astrology, astronomy, and time. For others of you, I feel that this is an energy of wisdom, receiving, and standing your ground. Someone may even feel that something was taken from them, okay? This is living out of spite. I love that. I saw those t-shirts online, and this is an energy that may have come or returned to get something that was taken from them. Oh my gosh, what was taken, child? We have fish. Okay, I don't know who stole somebody's fish, but you don't play with people's food. Could be Pisces, okay? But the fish sometimes represents, in a religious factor, the Christ, okay? And the Queen of Swords would actually be like the Holy Spirit energy. That's deep. All right, we're going to leave that there. It also represents the direction, the yin and the yang, okay? So this could represent Pisces season, the age of Pisces, because we're now in the age of Aquarius, which isn't the World card also Aquarius energy? So that's interesting. Ooh, okay. We have the whip. Okay, fish and whip. This is insane. Okay. Somebody's whipped, and the Queen of Swords is coming out like, you got to chill. See? The King of Cups would definitely be whipped. Oh my God. Okay, slow it down. There may be someone in the environment that is a fated situation. So this is like misunderstanding fate. I don't feel that it's what you think it is. And not you, I don't feel that it's what someone thinks it is. Okay. Someone likes to see the best in people. Someone likes to see the good in people. And this is like possibly a relationship, like a intimate relationship, not just like a friend or a family member. And whole time, I feel like somebody is keeping a secret, okay? Or wanting what was taken from them and may be very vengeful toward getting that. Wow, okay? We have the Wheel of Fortune twice. So it's like it was fated for this situation to happen, and it's fated for somebody to get their justice. You have the serpent with the wings. That is the Ouroboros. So it could talk about the beginning of time and the end of time of this particular relationship. It also talks about wisdom, knowledge, and all things divine. And then you have the magician. The magician in the relationships is sometimes non-committal. Also has a connection to the Seven of Swords. So this is a very mysterious individual that is not speaking clearly. This person does not say no. That's why it's maybe. Oh, I don't like that. Okay. So if the King of Cups is a person that sees the bright side, right? It's like a bright side thinker that's very supportive and likes to be fair, right? On the other end, we have a person that doesn't really lie, but won't tell the truth either. They don't really answer questions, and they like open-ended sort of situations where like you probably never made a commitment. You probably never really broke up. It's just always kind of been a thing, right? Very interesting concept. Now, the Queen of Swords, with this magician energy, it talks about intelligence. Now, the intelligence could be your guides or those that oversee the situation that are maybe working in your favor, because there may be something, and I want to say refusing to see. It's given like the two swords for me. I feel like there's a conflict or a challenge or just something that's distracting the person from seeing the truth regarding the situation. It could have even already happened in the past, and like you know exactly what I'm talking about. But your guides want you to know that, or your guide wants you to know that there's going to be a justice, right? There's going to be like freedom. There's going to be liberation from something. So if you have like, I don't want to say anger, but if there was a situation where someone took something from you, let's just say that it may be returned. It also talks about the transits. So some of you guys be mindful of the full moon during the Mercury retrograde this month in August. It may be a favorable time if you are looking to bring in some sort of manifestation, do some sort of protective work. That could be for some of you guys, okay? Now back over here with this whip and this fish. Oh, we have the heart. Okay. Well, the whip, I feel like is significant to like wanting something to go faster, right? When they usually like pop the horse, it builds the energy and the momentum to make them work harder. So if this is about work for some of you, I feel like this is your vitality, and this is you being fair, and then this is you trying to keep the peace, right? But at the same time, while you're doing all of that, there's something that you don't know, and I feel like it's time for you to see, but there's still an energy of refusing to see, and it's going to take some sort of head over heart energy or intelligence. You'll really have to pay attention. This isn't having conversations. It's kind of like moving in silence and almost being mysterious. Now, if this is how this person sees you, I think it's kind of cute because they see you as mysterious. They see you as a person that has the capacity to do whatever it is that you want. Okay, so they may have some knowledge that you are kind of eccentric, or you just have a very mystical vibe. Now with two Wheel of Fortunes, okay, that's like two wheels, okay, like a bicycle. And child, a bicycle is all about movement, right? If we were doing the little Kipper deck, what does the bike represent? Usually it represents children and movement. I think, and the two, like the two of pentacles too. So if we had two wheels, two pentacles, somebody could be juggling lovers. I think I did see the three of cups for you, group 4. Let's see here. I was gonna say I thought I did, but I only pulled 3 cards for all of the decks, so I wasn't gonna go like all deep into it. But here we are. So there may be a secret. Okay, I kind of told you that, and I feel like the secret involves Libra, and I don't know if it's just this foot thing, but it also talks about what somebody's doing at night. Because you got the moon card there. Um, yeah. Okay. Maybe what they're doing at night online too. So just be mindful of that. And I don't think we're seeing it because there's the whip, there's the heart. I feel like we're going in opposite directions, okay? Or maybe you thinking you're going in the same direction. I'm just being nosy. There's a female involved. Okay, we got that. And the moon again. So how no other group 4, you got 2 moons, 2 wheels. That's 4 wheels. Okay, or just 4. You know what I'm saying? So the moon represents no. Sometimes, and it also points back to the moon phase, the full moon phase in August that's coming up due to this Mercury retrograde. Now, the 2 crystals give me the 2 swords. So I want to say the importance of, you got a lot of synchronicities, dude. Like you got 2 cups over here, 2 fish over here, cool. Over here you got 2 swords twice, 2 moons twice, and then 2 wheels twice. This could be like a second lifetime with this situation or this person. And they still refuse to see. I had a friend that has Gemini sun sign and Gemini South Node. And I was like, whatever they want you to get about Gemini, baby, you just ain't getting it. Because it's like, usually the South Node tells something about you from your past. And if your sun sign is the same thing as your past sign, I just feel like maybe we got to do it again. Maybe there was something missed, but that is so crazy. So there's a female, possibly a Pisces, that has very Scorpio energy. And all she sees is love and relationships. Okay, to the point to where it gives anxiety. And something has caused great pain. The anxiety, I feel like, is eventually going to cause pain. But this is like sleepless nights, okay, type of energy. Because being kind of caught up and dealing with a third-party situation or a person that doesn't tell the truth or leaves a lot of open-ended sort of situations. Now, I feel like somebody's going to draw the line and set healthy boundaries because it is time to do that. Just like I felt they may have had to experience whatever transpired before, because of maybe past life karmic energy. So it's like, for me personally, I experienced a crazy time between me and my twin flame, like for the longest, up until like the last 6 years ago. And I sat and I looked at him and I was like, you know what? This makes no sense. Like, he's so clueless at times, but I'm more aware. And it's like ever since whatever galactic shift happened, before the pandemic, where so many people woke up, so many things made sense, and shit has not been the same ever since. I was just like, I had to have done something to you in a past life, because there's no way, unless you are just a moron, that don't care at all, which I don't believe that, and somebody over here would say that too. It's like I had to have done something to you in a past life. I had to have treated you the same way. You got to be getting your lick back, because the things that you do, the shady little things that you do, it just doesn't make sense. And something always comes between us. Like, there's this small every blue moon where it's celebratory, but most of the time it is like me saying, this is, I'm not tolerating this and that, because you're not really committed to me or the situation. And I'm over here trying to learn how to manifest and be the Elon Musk competitor or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like different cycles and phases of life where I may be inspired creatively when we come back together every blue moon and we're celebrating, right? And I feel confident and whole because like my other half is right up under me. But then there are times that my heart could hurt because I feel like you really playing games with me, and then it causes some sort of anxiety when I question myself and I don't trust my intuition. That's usually when my anxiety would kind of like trigger it in a situation. It's like, am I moving into self-sabotage, which the King of Cups would do in shadow? Or am I just like refusing to see something and my body or my intuition, that anxiety is my little senses going off saying he's about to do it again, he's about to run again, he's, or whatever. So it's just, could be one of those situations. Now, if you're not in a relationship, it just says that there's some harmony and balance coming to your vitality after some sort of pain and anxiety and sleepless nights. Maybe even dealing with insomnia because of work, because of people pleasing, or because of a relationship. Now, you got insomnia or anxiety because, you stay up too late at night and then don't understand what's happening the next day. So you may want to get some sleep before you try to process it all the next day. Others of you, this person is doing what you think that they're doing, but you don't want to believe that they're doing it, or you want some proof, which is fair. But all in all, group 4, you guys were very interesting. I don't want to make anyone else jealous and say the most interesting, but I will say it took some turns that I hadn't taken all day. So there we have it, and I do hope that it helps.